tourist arrivals in 2018. Malaysia's performance in 2017 as well as in 2018 forecast. In 2017, Malaysia received 25.9 million tourist arrivals, a decrease of 3.36% in terms of tourist arrivals compared to 2016, and generating an estimated ringgit Malaysia 82.2 billion tourist receipts. Asian market continue to contribute largely to these arrivals, namely Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, China, Thailand, India, South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, and the United Kingdom. For 2018, Tourism Malaysia has revised its target from 32 million to 25 million arrivals, which is the same as 2017 actual arrival. With the kickoff of the Visit Malaysia's Year 2020 campaign in various markets this year, Tourism Malaysia is targeting 36 million tourist arrival and with Visit Malaysia 168 million in tourist receipts by 2020. Dato' Ahmad Speaker, Sarawak's performance 2017 and 2018 forecast. For Sarawak, in 2017, we received 4.85 million visitors, bringing in an estimated tourist receipts of ringgit Malaysia 8.59 billion. Arrivals figure indicates an increase of 4.2% as compared to 2016. The top 5 source of tourist market for Sarawak were Brunei Darussalam, 1.73 million, Indonesia, 513,442, the Philippines, 68,380, Singapore, 42,177, and China, 38,204. As from January to May this year, visitors' arrival figure was 1,750,640. The figures indicated a positive increase in the tourist arrival, especially from China and Singapore. For China, 19,641 Chinese tourists came into Sarawak during the period of January to May 2018. This is an encouraging increase of 20.22% as compared to the same corresponding period in 2017. This was attributed to the Kuching-Shenzhen direct flight, which commenced in December 2017. For Singapore, the same corresponding period in 2018 indicated an increase of 15.8%, with a total of 17,856 Singaporeans arrival. Based on the performance and trend of the past few months in terms of Sarawak's visitors' arrival and national tourist arrival, for 2018, my ministry is targeting 4.5 million visitors' arrival and expecting ringgit Malaysia 8.05 billion in tourism receipts. To ensure a sustained growth of visitors' arrival, my ministry is actively embarking on a Visit Sarawak campaign, which shall be launched at the end of this year. My ministry will continue to work closely with all relevant stakeholders to deliver our mission to position Sarawak as a premier tourism destination. On tourism tax, on the implementation of tourism tax, where the Sarawak government will be given 50% of every 10 ringgit in tax per room per night collected from foreign tourists, my ministry wishes to report that a total of ringgit Malaysia 439,731 ringgit was collected for the period between September 2017 to December 2017. My ministry is currently working closely with the Federal Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture to determine how they can channel this allocation to us so that we may be able to utilize it to implement tourism-related programs and initiatives. Digital tourism. In response to our Chief Minister's call to capitalize on capital economy, on digital economy to boost Sarawak's tourism competitiveness, our ministry has initiated to embrace and redevelop our tourism web portal with enhanced and interactive content. This includes developing augmented reality and virtual reality technology for tourism hotspots in the state, starting with the old Kuching Heritage Area, in time for the Visit Sarawak campaign to be launched at the end of the year. A total allocation of ringgit Malaysia 12.5 million ringgit has been allocated to the ministry for the next 3 years to boost and transform Sarawak tourism's landscape by leveraging on emerging digital technology. Capacity building. Dato' Amar Speaker, my ministry, in collaboration with Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture Malaysia, Sarawak Forestry Corporation, University Malaysia Sarawak, and Sarawak Tourist Guide Association, will continue to support and organize the community participation in the tourism industry, which aims to equip the industry players with the necessary hospitality skills, creativity skills, and social media marketing. This year, my ministry is going to initiate the Mandarin-speaking park guides training course in collaboration with Sarawak Forestry Corporation and University Technology Mara Sarawak, UITM, with the aim to increase the number of Mandarin-speaking park guides in view of the growing China tourist arrival and shortage of Mandarin-speaking park guides. In line with the state's digital agenda, my ministry is targeting homestay operators to utilize social media marketing in promoting their homestay. Therefore, my ministry is introducing new program called Promotion Through Digital Media for Homestay Operators. As of June 2018, Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture Malaysia has licensed 275 tour agencies, 140 tourist guides, 171 tourist buses and car rentals, and 1 tourism training institute. In addition, the ministry has also licensed 215 hotels in Sarawak to ensure that the premises adhere to the guideline established by the government. National parks. Dato' Amar Speaker, our national park continue to be the most preferred destination for eco-tourists, both domestic and foreign, because of its wildlife attraction, interesting nature activity, beautiful and unique landscape. There is a total of 56 national parks, nature reserves and wildlife sanctuaries in Sarawak. As of May 2018, the total visitors arrival to all the national parks was 186,486, with total revenue generated amounting to ringgit Malaysia 2.18 million. The total visitors arrival consists of 136,573 domestic and 49,913 foreigners. There is an encouraging increase of 18.33% of foreign visitors with an overall increase of revenue by 0.88% as compared to the same period last year. National Park that recorded the highest number of visitors as of May 2018 are Semenggok Wildlife Center, 28,572 visitors. Bako National Park, 10,358 visitors. Santubong National Park, 9,367 visitors. Niah National Park, 8,686 visitors. Gunung Mulu National Park, 7,781 visitors. And Lambe Hill National Park, 4,485 visitors. Lambe Hill National Park was awarded the TripAdvisor 2018 Certificate of Excellence for Best Attraction, Cafeteria and Information for the second time actually. This award would be leveraged as a promotional and branding mileage for National Park. For the 2017 Sarawak Chief Minister's Award for Best Managed Park, Batang Wildlife Center won the award for the Best Practices in Management, Protection and Conservation. Now I would like to touch on tourism events and festivals. Dato' Ahmad Speaker, in my effort to continue to attract more tourists to Sarawak, my ministry, with the collaboration of other agencies and tourism industry players, have successfully initiated, supported and organized many tourism events to attract more tourists, generate economic spin-off for the local community and to capture international media attention. The signature event of Sarawak, the Rainforest World Music Festival, or RWMF, which just ended last night actually for this year's event. This year's was its 21st edition, which was just concluded at the Sarawak Cultural Village, Santubong, from the 13th to the 15th of July 2018. This year, the festival expanded its venue to the adjacent Damai Central as more activities were introduced to the festival. Apart from stage performances and workshops, the festival was open to new activities and wellness programs such as yoga, tai chi, zumba, as well as talks on health and wellness. There were also pocket performances to create a more vibrant festivity ambience. This year, STB brought in 200 medias from around the world to cover the festival. They comprise of printed, online media, as well as influential bloggers. Other notable international events which have been lined up in 2018 are the Borneo Jazz Festival in May, the Miss World Malaysia in September, where we'll be hosting for the first time Miss World Malaysia, Borneo Fashion Week in September, Kuching Waterfront Jazz Festival also in September, What About Kuching in October, and Kuching Waterfront Festival, which comprise of International Dragon Boat Regatta in October, as well as the Sarawak Regatta in November. Regional Tourism Corporation, Dato' Ahmad Speaker, Sarawak leverage on its membership in several regional cooperation platforms, namely the Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East Asia Growth Area, BIM Niaga, East Asia Inter-Regional Tourism Forum, or ITOF, Social Economic Malaysia Indonesia, or SOSEC Malindo, Sabah Sarawak Labuan Joint Tourism Coordination and Collaboration Committee, SSLJTCC, and Sarawak Brunei Bilateral Cooperation Tourism Working Group to develop joint activities, marketing and promotion of tourism in the region. Tourism marketing and promotional activities. Sarawak Tourism Board continues to be at the forefront in marketing and promotion of tourism in the state. In sustaining the market interest with the existing trend, the board's marketing activities for the first half of 2018 saw the continuity of efforts from 2017, especially in our focus market, and sustaining direct flight into Sarawak. Visit Sarawak campaign. The state government has agreed to embark on a Visit Sarawak campaign with the objective to position Sarawak as the preferred tourist destination. The campaign will include branding exercise to enhance the image of Sarawak as an attractive destination for holiday business and investment. STB is entrusted to lead and undertake the Visit Sarawak campaign, which is expected to be launched at the end of this year. The campaign will highlight the offering on new tourism products that will be appealing to the trend of travelling and well-targeted and specific interest group. Private sectors must be ready with their offerings and be fully prepared in delivering excellent services with sufficient resources to meet the needs of the tourists. A series of public engagement programs will be organized among local Sarawakians to indicate a strong sense of belonging on the campaign, so that they will help to promote their very own homeland to the world. Ultimately, the outcome of the campaign is to increase tourist arrivals by 15 to 18% and to increase the average length of stay from 5 days to a week, and subsequently increase tourism revenue earning for the state. Marketing strategies for 2018. STB, besides focusing on its focus market for family and silver hair, is eyeing to diversify market interest to meet the trend moving fast from the traditional packages to free and independent traveling. This trend is popular among the younger generation, facilitated by the rise of low-cost carriers and online accommodation and travel booking. STB works effectively in collaboration with the regional low-cost carriers such as AirAsia, Scoot, Wing A, and Malindo A. Since December 2017, STB has been working very closely with AirAsia to tap into the China's market, to tap into the China free independent travelers through the first direct flight from Shenzhen to Kuching. In addition, we have Scoot's direct flight from Singapore to Kuching, and as well as Wing A direct flight from Pontianak to Kuching and Miri. An integrated marketing campaign has been launched to target the younger travelers from all these airport hubs. New collaboration and partnerships for 2018. STB works effectively by collaborating with strategic partners in all the target markets, including airlines, tour operators, online portals, and other interested partners. For the first half of 2018, our collaborative effort centered on partners working on our focus market of domestic, that is West Malaysia, Singapore, China, Germany, and Australia. For the market of West Malaysia, STB works in collaboration with Mata Sarawak chapter in a joint participation at the March Mata Fair and Roadshow, which was held recently in Kuala Lumpur. For the China market, STB ongoing marketing collaboration with AirAsia has been given emphasis with two-pronged strategy to increase arrival from China, especially from the southern region, as well as to ensure sustainability of the direct flight. The collaboration emphasized in digital promotion with investment on media content generation using key opinion leaders, OKOL, celebrities and writers to fulfill STB's digital promotion in the marketplace. Engagement session with Tourism Malaysia, Guangzhou, tourism wholesalers, agents and AirAsia China was held in Shenzhen and Guangzhou recently to gather feedback and suggestions to chart the way forward for our marketing strategies in China. Currently, the AirAsia Kuching-Shenzhen-Kuching direct flight, which was inaugurated in December 2017, saw a reduced frequency to 3 times weekly, but the load has always been consistent at 79%. The ratio of passengers flown based on nationality split at 60 to 40 between Malaysian and China nationals. For German and the German-speaking market, 2 joint tactical marketing promotion has been scheduled in 2018 with 2 top Germany's agents, that is Tischler Reisen and the Touristic. These initiatives arises from our participation in the March International Tourismus Bursa or ITB Berlin. Our joint collaboration with Tourism Malaysia and Frankfurt office saw joint promotion of the destination through media familiarization trips, which was organized in April. For the Australian market, the recent completed roadshow from 20th to the 30th of May 2018, covering Sydney, Melbourne and Perth, saw our joint collaboration with Sabah Tourism Board in the promotion of Borneo as a single destination, where Mulu was given much emphasis with package extension from Kota Kinabalu. The business-to-business or B2B section was leveraged upon to introduce Kuching as an extension package from Mulu. The Sydney and Perth session was a joint marketing collaboration with Malaysia Airlines, while the Melbourne sector was an effort with Royal Brunei Airlines, which flies 3 times weekly from Melbourne to the hub of Bandar Sri Begawan, with stopover packages to Mulu and Kota Kinabalu. Product management. Although the STB is not fully empowered to manage and develop tourist product, it is crucial for STB to provide feedbacks and inputs to ground handlers on the type of packages and products to be featured in the marketplace. Feedbacks are provided by tour operators for STB to explore new and more exciting products. It is the target of STB to produce at least 10 new packages for the focus market each year. Today, there are already 7 new potential Sarawak packages which are ready to be sold by ground handlers. Among them are the Mulu National Park Beyond Caves, packages, Kapit Balik Expedition, Padawan Discovery, Rajang Belawai Discovery, Muka Rentap Heritage Trail, Discover Serian Trail, and Limbang Lawas and Maritam Pasir, Lumpur Berbuak packages. Tourism industry players engagement. In my ministry's effort to understand better the needs and challenges faced by our industry players, many formal and informal engagement sessions have been carried out with Sarawak Tourism Federation or STF and its affiliates, including Malaysian Association of Travel and Tour Agents or MATA, Malaysian Hotel Association or MHA, Association of Sarawak Inbound Agencies or ASEAN, Sarawak Tourism Association or SRA, Sarawak Association of Tourism Attraction or SATA, Sarawak Handicraft and Souvenir Association or SHASHA, and Sarawak Tour Guides Association SKTGD. Industry players will play a major part in the coming year Sarawak's campaign. My ministry is engaging with the tourism stakeholders from time to time to acknowledge the issues and challenges faced by the industry. There are several platforms, namely Sarawak Tourism Steering Committee meeting, Sarawak Tourism Coordination Committee meeting, Tourism Interagency Coordination meeting, and Divisional Tourism Task Group at divisional level. Business event. Dato' Amar Speaker, in 2017, Sarawak Convention Bureau brought in 89 business events to Sarawak, 60 bid wins and 29 bids supported. The 89 business events represent close to 34,000 delegates and 97,000 delegate days, translating to approximately ringgit Malaysia 107 million in direct delegate expenditure to Sarawak. This revenue returned to Sarawak to feed downstream and upstream tourism businesses, in sustaining flight demands, accommodation, event venues, food and beverage outlets, and others. Equally important is the yield in business event and branding propagation, knowledge alliances, trade and investment, dignity and social development, and legacy. The highlights of events won in 2017. Out of the 60 win to date, we highlight the top 4 high-profile business events secured. They are World Autism Congress, World Tourism Congress 2022, with targeted 1,500 delegates. Hope Conference 2018, and targeted also 1,500 delegates. Congress of the Federation of Asian Veterinary Association 2020, with targeted 800 delegates. The 10th Clean Air Asia Better Air Quality Conference 2018, with targeted 600 delegates, among others. Another 50 additional business events were won to develop Sarawak in agriculture, medical, education, environment and biodiversity, science and technology, and engineering, and sectors which are in line with the state's vision and direction. Sarawak also hosted a total of 49 business events in 2017, amounting close to 22,000 business events delegates, with the direct delegate spending of over ringgit Malaysia 71.2 billion ringgit. One of the key success factors which include business events supported under the State Convention Fund. In 2017, the state has sponsored over Ringgit Malaysia 3.84 million to 31 conferences. New plans and activities for 2018. SCB, or Sarawak Convention Bureau, will host a business event, Tribal Meet, or commonly known as the Tribe, 2018, from the 23rd to 24th August 2018 in Kuching. Tribe 2018 will gather over 200 pre-qualified decision makers for a series of keynote sessions by global court leaders, a panel discussion featuring 4 prominent business event bodies, and the 9 Anak Sarawak Award to acknowledge the contribution of stakeholders to the state. Tribe 2018 will launch the Best Sarawak Alliance to drive stronger network with government ministries and agencies to cultivate business meetings, impact growth opportunities, and yield beyond the immediate economic impact, as well as to understand the benefit from participation with international associations. In driving service excellence within the industry, SCB will pilot accreditation programs with global authorities such as the International Association of Professional Congress Organizers, or YAPCO, in generating referred and referral businesses. Summary achievement of SCB from 2006 to 2017 in figures. The great sum of our activities since the Bureau's achievement is 746 new business events with direct delegate expenditure of Ringgit Malaysia 575.8 million, which is disbursed throughout Sarawak, Sarawak from 2006 right up to 2022. Development projects under RMK 11. Dato' Amar Speaker, acknowledging the important contribution of the tourism sector to the economy of the state through the service sector, the government through the Social Economic Transformation Program has approved 50 key results area KRAs, projects and programs this year worth Ringgit Malaysia 59.16 billion. Out of these 15 projects and programs, 7 are physical projects and 8 are in programs. A total of Ringgit Malaysia 13,594,171 has been spent in 2017, while the balance will be utilized in 2018 and 2019. The current ongoing physical projects include the upgrading of tourism infrastructures and facilities, Wind Cave, Ferry Cave in Bau, the Kuching waterfront areas, and Kuching Heritage Trail. Upgrading work to the jetty near Santun Bong Bridge to cater for the Ramsar site for the Kuching wetland, visitors, anglers and divers, and the construction of the walkway in front of the new dune building to connect the pedestrian bridge with Fort Margarita. In developing tourism products, related studies that are currently being conducted includes the conversion of the Brook Dockyard into a maritime museum, the conversion of the old dune building where we used to have our dune sitting to a center of performing arts, the construction of a gold mine museum and park in Bau, and the transformation of the old Mary resident office into a cultural and heritage center. Other than projects under the KRA's, ongoing and approved new tourism projects under the 11 Malaysia plan being implemented by my ministry includes the state-funded projects with a total allocation of ringgit Malaysia 27.5 million, comprised of the Dalan Phase 2 waterfront project, the walkway leading from Kampung Boyan to Fort Margarita in Kuching, the upgrading of North Yuseng Road to popularly to be known as the Wireless Walk, development of tourism facilities at Batam Point, the upgrading work at the ICQ's Sungai Tujuh, and the tourism-related facilities at Tusan Beach, Belia. All these are expected to be completed by the end of RFK 11 implementation. The federal funded projects implemented under the first rolling plan of the 11th Malaysia Plan by the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture, Malaysia, with an allocation of ringgit Malaysia 6.32 million, comprising the upgrading of tourism facilities in Belia National Park, which was completed in May 2018. The construction of a baruk at Kampung Bumpang, Bau, completed this July 2018. And the upgrading of Heritage Trail at Kuching Waterfront as planned, which is expected to be completed by September 2018. The recent decision by the federal government to review new projects that have not been awarded resulted in 5 tourism-related projects under the second rolling plan amounting to ringgit Malaysia 30,884,000 being put on hold. Namely, the development of ecotourism for Kuching Wetland National Park, the upgrading of Pancho Hot Springs, Serian, and the upgrading of tourism facilities at Gunung Serumbu, Bau. My ministry has written to the federal ministry to reconsider the decision on this matter, as these projects have gone through meticulous planning and are considered growth catalysts for our tourism sector. So hopefully our new ministers from Pakatan Harapan from Sarawak can also help us when they are sitting in the cabinet federal government. Art and culture. Majlis Seni Sarawak sejak beroperasi pada tahun 2017, Majlis Seni Sarawak yang ditubuhkan melalui Sarawak Arts Council Ordinance 2008 memfokuskan kepada usaha memapatkan seni budaya negeri Sarawak. Majlis Seni Sarawak berusaha mengekal, memelihara, menggalak dan mengembangkan bakat seni di Sarawak berdasarkan objektif seperti berikut: mempromosi dan mempertambatkan seni Sarawak ke pesada dunia, menyokong, menggalak, menyelia pembangunan dan penyelidikan seni, mengekalkan dan mengembangkan kesenian Sarawak, dan yang terakhir menyediakan kemudahan prasarana sebagai sumber utama seni. Berbagai aktiviti telah dijalankan seperti mengadakan persembahan seni, mengelola sesi latihan seni dan pertandingan seni yang merangkumi muzik, vokal, nyanyian, tarian, teater dan lakonan dalam usaha untuk melahirkan belia tempatan yang berbakat dan berwibawa bagi meneruskan warisan seni dan juga budaya negeri. Program-program ini telah berjaya menarik minat seramai 1,250 orang pelajar. Tuntasnya, Majlis Seni Sarawak telah membantu para belia yang berminat dalam seni persembahan dan telah mengendalikan kelas bimbingan asas seni agar belia dapat memperbaiki dan mempelajari seni persembahan dengan lebih mudah dan efisien. Selain daripada persembahan oleh simfoni orkestra Majlis Sarawak ataupun SANS, Majlis Seni Sarawak juga telah berkolaboratif dengan agensi-agensi seperti Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka Cawangan Sarawak, Kelab Peminat P. Ramli Sarawak dan Sekolah Menengah Chunghua dalam mengelolakan program seperti Kongres Kebudayaan Negeri Sarawak, konsert gemilang dan Music of the Orient. Pada 22 hari bulan Ogos 2018 ini, Majlis Seni Sarawak bekerjasama dengan SANS dan Kumpulan Seni Budaya Bintulu akan mengadakan persembahan musical theater di Dewan Suara Sibu. Manakala pada bulan Oktober 2018 nanti, Majlis Seni Sarawak akan mengelolakan persembahanan Malam Budaya Sarawak yang akan melibatkan International Music House ataupun IMH, Dayak Cultural Foundation, Dayak Bidayuh National Association, Orang Ulu National Association dan Forum, Persatuan Melanau, Persekutuan Cina Sarawak, Persatuan India, Kelab Peminat P. Ramli Sarawak, Rumpun Seni Silat Sarawak dan Petra Dances, dan juga Persatuan Kesenian Seri Sarawak. Majlis di Sarawak juga bekerjasama rapat dengan Jabatan Ketua Menteri bagi mengelolakan acara-acara tonggak tahunan Kerajaan Negeri. Sarawak Museums Department. Now I would like to report on the progress and achievement made by the Sarawak Museum Department last year and the early part of this year. The new Sarawak Museum Campus project. I believe that all of you who have driven to or been driven along Jalan Tun Abang Haji Openg, Kuching, towards the Padang Merdeka would have noticed on your left side the two main buildings under construction. The bigger and more imposing 5-story building is the new Sarawak Museum Campus, which will become an iconic landmark by mid-2020. It will provide about 6,500 square meters of exhibition space to showcase Borneo's rich history spanning more than 42,000 years. Once completed, it will rank as being the second largest museum after the National Gallery in Singapore in this region. The permanent narrative uses interesting themes to link together a variety of collections, photographs, footage, and stories into a cohesive and interactive experience. As the exhibition is carefully being planned to cater to a broad range of audience, ranging from the young to the old. It is expected to reap economic benefits from the increased cultural tourism. The other building closer to, which is behind the main campus, the other building closer to Jalan Piramid is the 4-story administrative cum conservation center, which will have state-of-the-art conservation and laboratory facilities that will ensure that the state's impressive collection will be better preserved and documented for posterity. which will also serve as a resource and research center in its quest to achieve its vision of becoming the global center for Bornean heritage by 2020. It is also envisaged that with more storage space, the museum can renew its acquisition program to ensure that more of the state's heritage can be safeguarded and protected. The physical construction of the two buildings is progressing well at about 75% and will be open to the public as scheduled in early 2020. Refurbishment of the original museum building. The original museum building was built in 1891. It is the pride of Sarawak. It was closed last year to enable it to be conserved and restored to showcase the building and exhibit as an example of late 19th century to 20th century museology. The ethnographic objects normally on display on the top floor have been treated, packed and transported for temporary storage at the repository of the State Library in Jalan Semerian. Expected to be reopened in early 2020, the ground floor will be used for original exhibition of the natural history collection plus the child host ethnographic collection and interactive display on level 1. To ensure that the Sarawak Museum Campus project will attain global standards, several partnerships and signing of memorandum of understanding with renowned institutions have been made, such as with the British Museum, London, National History Museum of London, as well as the Renhuat Academy, Amsterdam. Among matters that have been agreed include educational and cultural exchange through internship and attachment of staff, and collaboration on temporary loan of collection for exhibition. The Natural History Museum also assists in making peer review to ensure that the planning and implementation of the project will conform with standard procedures such as functionality and general best practices and appropriate facilities for conservation and storage areas and security measures. Conservation and upgrading of historical forts. Dato' Ahmad speaker, all forts and are reminiscence of historical past and is an important part of the state heritage and need to be preserved and maintained. Under the 11 Malaysia Plan, 5 forts or kubu, namely Kubu Lili, Kubu Betung, Kubu Lili in Betung, Kubu Erma in Kenawi, Kubu Hos in Marudi, and Kubu Brook in Julau, and Kubu Sylvia in Kapit will be conserved and maintained. The fort at Betung and Kenawi will be converted into regional museum to display local history, culture and craft, while the existing galleries at Kapit and Marudi will be enhanced. Kubu Group will be used as a rural community center, which includes a rural library. All works on the fort will start this year, that is 2018, and expected to be completed by 2020. Exhibition of Nusantara collection by Museum Prinsenhof, Delft, of the city of Delft in the Netherlands. In April 2018, the Sarawak Museum received a total of 412 Bornean cultural artifacts or Nusantara collection from the Museum Prinsenhof, Delft, Leiden in the Netherlands. A selection of the same Nusantara's collection was put on display at the Sarawak Textile Museum from the 16th of May 2018 for a period of 6 months. Since it was open to the public, it has attracted more than 5,000 visitors. Dato' Amar Speaker, Asia-Europe Museum Network, or ASEMAS Conference in 2018. Sarawak Museum will host the 8th ASEMAS Conference from 14 to 18 of November 2018 in Kuching. The conference will gather 250 cultural experts from across Asia and Europe, including museum directors, curators, educators, artists and scholars, and representatives of UNESCO and International Council of Museums, as speakers on regional and city museums, as well as accessibility issues. The conference will be a platform to promote and enhance Sarawak on the museum and tourism world market. Dato' Amar Speaker, I wish to go to Sarawak Craft Council and Kebudayaan Kemajuan Craft Tangan, Malaysia. Handicrafts are part of the nation's tangible cultural heritage and are seen as a legacy of physical artifacts and intangible attributes of a group or society that are inherited from past generations, maintained in the present, and bestowed for the benefits of future generations. This cultural heritage has been developed as one of the full in developing tourism destinations worldwide. Most of these cultural tourism products are intangible, be it a visit to the museum, watching performing arts, or a visit to the own house. Souvenirs such as local handicrafts serve as a tangible memorabilia of their visit to a specific place. The state government realized the important role of handicrafts in the industry and set up the Sarawak Craft Council in 1996 to coordinate the development of handicrafts in tandem with the tourism industry in 3 focus areas, that is industry, capacity building, marketing, and research and development. Various programs and activities have been planned and been implemented to improve the product quality and output. Basic skill development programs such as the Handicraft Home Training Program, Sarawak Craft Council initiative have been the major source of participants in productions and entrepreneurial development training sessions. Sarawak Craft Council also has collaborated with other agencies such as Kebudayaan Kemajuan Craft Tangan, Malaysia, in developing product design and marketing. In 2017, 28 capacity building training sessions involving 279 participants were implemented. 6 activities under research and development were implemented, and Sarawak Craft Council also organized and participated in 21 promotional and sales events, generating a total of in Malaysia 505,000 direct sales. In 2018, 43 activities are planned for capacity building programs, while for marketing and promotion, a total of 44 activities are planned and 11 for research and development. As of June 30th, 70 capacity building activities have been implemented involving 87 participants, while the Sarawak Crafts Council participated in 11 promotional events generating ringgit Malaysia 230,000 direct sales and ringgit Malaysia 240,000 confirmed orders. In 2017, the sales of handicrafts in Sarawak was ringgit Malaysia 27,352,000, while the target for 2018 is ringgit Malaysia 28,835,000. The total sale for the first half of 2018 is ringgit Malaysia 14,017,000 ringgit. The sales figures are monitored by Kebudayaan Kemajuan Pelancongan Malaysia, another lead agency in the development of handicraft in the state. Now we go to youth development. Dato' Ahmad Speaker, shaping and preparing our youth with the necessary discipline, skills and knowledge in facing future challenges is not an easy task. With the quantum of 42% youth population in Sarawak, out of 2.8 million statistics, these are from Statistics Department 2018, they are considered as a great asset to the state. If they are harnessed and utilized in the right direction. In this context, the government should consider looking at the issues of youth development seriously. Precisely, the challenges faced by the youth today are multifaceted in nature, ranging from economic, social, technological, and political perspectives. Today, the issues and challenges commonly faced by our youth, as usually highlighted by the social media, are unemployment, as well as underemployment among our graduates and school leavers, coupled by high cost of living. Among our high cost of living, drugs abuse, influence of social media, underage marriages, teen pregnancies, divorces, juvenile delinquencies, illegal racing, money, urban poverty, and alcoholism. To ensure the youth are more prepared, composed, and receptive in facing future challenges, the government taking active measures to formulate and implement viable and holistic youth development policies, programs, as well as strategies initiatives. For the second half of 2018, that is from July to December, my ministry will continue to organize the following programs and activities, namely Sambutan Hari Belia Peringkat Negeri, Forum Belia Sarawak, Jelajah Belia Sarawak, Junior and Senior Youth TED dan Jalan Outreach to the World, Youth Feed the World, Leadership, Entrepreneurship, Communication Skill, Community and Volunteerism, and others. Our Youth Transformation Program, Kawan Kusaya, Keluarga Kenal, getting encouraging response from the youth. The program has been proven to be very effective in terms of youth motivation, engagement, and outreach. This program is implemented through strategic collaboration with Saberkas since 2014. As a result of this success story, our ministry will continue to implement it as its core annual program. To date, we have organized a total of 51 series of the same program involving more than 5,000 youth throughout the state, leaving a remaining 11 series to be implemented for the rest of this year. My ministry will continue to implement youth development programs through strategic collaboration with other relevant agencies such as Jabatan Belia dan Sukan, Jabatan Pendidikan, Saberkas, Youth Association, and NGOs. Fundamentally, our programs, concept, goals, and objectives are normally aligned to the 9 elements highlighted in the Dasar Belia Malaysia, including the State Youth Development Strategic Trust. Sports development. Dato' Ahmad Speaker, sport tourism is one of the contributing elements towards the state economic growth through the numerous levels of sport events being organized in Sarawak. It also helped to project our country's image at international level, having world-class facilities suitable for international level events. Through these activities, Sarawak has managed to attract a wide range of sport tourists from within the country as well as foreign countries, namely from China, from United States of America, from Canada, from Russia, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, Korea, Singapore, Brunei, Darussalam, Thailand, and the Philippines to fully capitalize on Sarawak's potential in sports tourism. Sarawak Sports Corporation has intensified the effort in bidding for more international events to be held in Sarawak as the preferred venue internationally. Among the events held last year was the Victor Far East Malaysia Masters Badminton Championship at Cebu Indoor Stadium, the third Southeast Asia Squash at Squash Center in Kuching, the Celcom Asiata Malaysia Open Badminton Championship at the Indoor Stadium in Kuching, and the 31st Malaysia International Open Masters Athletic Championship at Stadium Sarawak, Kuching, Wushu International Championship in Kuching, and many other international events. For the first half of 2018, we have organized Sarawak International Open 10-pin bowling championship, the 4th CMS Borneo Junior Squash Open Sarawak, the World Para 10-pin bowling championship, and many others. We have also collaborated with various associations in organizing international events such as the Belia 101 International Arms Wrestling Tournament 2018. We managed to attract more than 2,000 participants, and among them more than 500 are from outside of Malaysia. Other upcoming international events are the Kuching Marathon 2018, which will be held on the 12th of August 2018 in Padang Merdeka, Kuching. This is a full marathon, which has got this international accreditation at AIM, or Association of International Marathon. We are expecting more than 11,000 participants for this marathon. Other international events organized by local associations include ASEAN Golf Tour Championship, which was held recently from the 4th to the 7th of July 2018, and the second Asian Pacific Hash Run from the 4th to the 7th of July 2018. The state government through Sarawak Sports Corporation has successfully been another international event in 2018 and 2 international events in 2019. The third Sarawak 4x4 Jamboree 2018 shall be taking place from Cebu to Kapit Division from the 13th to the 16th of September this year. The World Para Swimming Championships 2019 will be held on the 29th of July to the 4th of August 2019, which will attract more than 1,000 participants from more than 80 countries, just like a mini Olympic. In addition, the Asian Masters Athletic Championship 2019 will be organized from the 2nd to the 6th of December 2019, which will attract about 3,500 participants. Increased usage of facilities. My ministry has taken into account numerous ideas and public opinions in making our sports facilities accessible and practical for public usage. Among the initiatives that we have undertaken is by making it affordable to the general public. The percentage of usages of these facilities in 2017 has recorded an increase of 30% compared to 2016. The amount of rental collection received from the usage of these facilities in 2016 was ringgit Malaysia 442,745 ringgit, whereas in 2017 it has jumped quite a bit, where we collected ringgit Malaysia 683,950 ringgit. We are looking forward to have more events this year and to ensure that the facilities are being utilized to the optimum. My ministry will make sure that our facilities will always be preferred venues to organize international events as well as national events. Nevertheless, to meet the needs of latest technology to be incorporated in our facility, our ministry had also initiated an upgrading exercise, upgrading some of our major stadiums into smart stadiums. We are collaborating with Korea on this matter. This initiative will be an added value towards making our stadiums attractive to the end users. Sukan Sarawak or Suksa 2017. Dato' Amar Speaker, Sukan Sarawak or Suksa was organized from the 14th to the 17th of December 2017 with a total of 1,436 athletes from the 4th Division of Sarawak taking part. Suksa was the platform to identify the best talents and to nurture them from throughout the state for the 19th Sukma 2018 in Perak and the 20th Sukma 2020 in Johor. Overall results of Sukan Sarawak was the northern zone comprising of Limbang, Miri and Bintulu were champion. The first runner-up was the southern zone, Kuching, Seremban, and Semarahan and Serian. Second runners-up was the central zone, which is Sibu, Kapit and Mungkap. The fourth placing was the western zone that comprised of Seringke, Bentuk and Sri Ahmad. I wish to touch a bit on the 19th Bagi Perak this year. Dato' Amar Speaker, Sukma 2018 will be hosted in Perak from the 12th to the 22nd of September 2018. Our target is to become the overall champion. There will be a total of 29 sports which consists of 434 events. Our target is to win 77 gold medals. To achieve these goals, we have been preparing our athletes since the last Sukma 2016. We have organized athletes camp Kepung Mas from the 30th of June to the 4th of July at Belia, Sematan. The purpose is to motivate the athletes to achieve the goals in becoming overall champion in Sukma Perak 2018. The 50 days countdown of Sukma 2018 will be launched on the 24th of July at Celebration Square, Petrajaya, Kuching. All Sukma athletes will be housed at Unimas, Semarahan from the 12th to the 16th of August 2016 for the final preparation. Sport, social facilities and development. Coming more or less to the end of my speech. Next, I would like to touch on the development of sports and social facilities in Sarawak. Providing sports and social facilities is one of the main functions of our ministry. As more people participate in sports and recreational activities, the demand for such facilities to be built and improved has risen tremendously. Under the 11 Malaysian plan, a sum of ringgit Malaysia 229,045,000 has been allocated for the construction and upgrading of youth and sport facilities throughout the state. The ministry continues to build new as well as upgrade and improve the existing facilities. I'm pleased to report that the upgrading work for the running track at Sri Aman bin Tulu Sirike Sports Complex has already been completed, while the upgrading work for the running track at Miri Sports Complex will be completed this year. On another development, the running track at Kapit Sports Complex is also currently being upgraded. It is targeted to be completed by December 2018. With regards to the new Betung swimming pool, the construction is in progress. It was originally targeted to be completed by December 2018. However, due to some issues related to the management of the project, its completion is expected to be slightly delayed. The upgrading of work of Sarike Sports Complex, which commenced in July 2017 under the Rural Transformation Project, was completed in April 2018. I also wish to inform that the improvement work for 3 youth camps, namely Kementerian and the Muka Youth Camp, is also being undertaken, while the improvement for Muka Youth Camp has already been fully completed. Physically, the work for Puing and Kementerian has been completed. We hope more people will use this youth camp once the improvement work is fully completed. The ministry is aware that other facilities such as Dewan Suara and swimming pools also need improvement and upgrading in view of their deteriorating condition. The ministry will continue to carry out improvement and upgrading work for these facilities based on the approved funds. Presently, Sarawak has achieved well in sports, nationally and internationally. It is necessary to sustain the present performance and achievement in making Sarawak as the sport powerhouse in Malaysia. Therefore, it is necessary to have an athlete-centric environment to help Sarawak athletes to develop their sporting potential while balancing the importance of academic education. Together with the game village, the plan also includes converting an existing school nearby Petra Jaya Sports Complex into a national sports school. The school is located near to all the existing world-class sports facilities and infrastructure, as well as the proposed game village. In conclusion, Dr. Ahmad Speaker, I would like to thank the ahli-ahli yang berhormat from Repok, Bukit Asek, Tamin, Beting Maru, Lingga, Balingian, Semujan, Pujut, Daro, Selembu, Macan, Layan, Bukit Goram, Tanjung Datuk, Meluan, Lampir, Piasau, Kampung, and Lili for their proposals, suggestions, and issues raised in our effort to advance the development of tourism, art, culture, youth, and sport in Sarawak. My ministry will take necessary steps and action to incorporate those suggestions and requests in my ministry's strategic direction. In response to the issues raised up by the Honourable Member of Pujut, untuk maklumat ahli yang berhormat for Pujut, the Miri Petroleum Museum site is ideal and historic, as it is located in proximity to the Sarawak first oil well. Therefore, it would not be wise to move the Petroleum Museum to the old resident office as had been suggested by the member of Ujun, or probably the member of Ujun, just to know that the present museum is near to the site. Maybe it's not from me. I will make understand it's from the place that they moved to me. So you don't know the site is important. The construction of fence around the existing petroleum museum is to deter acts of vandalism. The existing water-cooled chillers, air-conditioned system presently used at the petroleum museum was installed in 2005 when the museum was officially opened. It is too old to be continued and will be replaced with split unit air conditions, which are cheaper alternatives. With reference to the old Miri resident office, efforts are being made to transform the building into a heritage center and develop a museum for Miri. The museum department is currently conducting a study with the Miri City Council on how best to utilize. With that, Dato' Amar Speaker, I end my winding up speech for the Ministry of Tourism, Art, Culture, Youth and Sport. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dato' Amar Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I brought out the questions of repair of the air conditioner. Everybody in Miri, which the Minister described as a beggar, we are representatives of the beggars, said know that the air conditioner in Petroleum Museum has not been functioning well for the past 2 or 3 years. When the community complained about the air conditioner, and it was a long delay, the minister was saying that the delay is due to funding problem, and we are going to replace the air conditioner. Finally, last year we had a funding of 200,000, and certainly the replacement became repaired. And the air conditioner only worked for 6 months. Now we spent 200,000.
What's your question?
The air conditioner. Why did we repair the air conditioner in the first place when the minister just mentioned that it was out of date, it needs replacement, but yet we spent 200,000 on repairing an air conditioner? Is there something happening here? Why are we not replacing in the first place, but instead repairing?
Terima kasih Ali Muhammad daripada Pujut for your question. Well, he did raise it up in his in his debate. Well, the museum department rely on the expert service or advice from the agency that is supposed to look into all this. There is a standard operating procedures for this. When something is rosak or damage, not being able to be used, there will be a JKR that will be put into it. It will be referred to JKR for them to give advice whether we need to change, whether we need to replace. Well, the advice at that time was to repair. That is the, well, even in your house, sometimes when your aircon is rosak, do you quickly replace it or you just buy a new one? Sometimes you will tend to repair it first. Well, after repairing and it's still rosak, then you replace it lah. That is exactly what happened here. So after that repair, and it was found out that it was still rosak. Now I think we have to replace it with a new air condition. What's the point? Wait first, I'm still explaining. So that is actually what is happening. The issues also is that there is no hanky-panky towards it. It was all conducted properly, and the contractor that was doing the repair won the contract by open tender. Because I know you are trying to imply why is it the contractor is in Kuching, why not from some Navy or something. Well, he won it by open tender. It's just unfortunate. You might not, you or your friend did not submit the tender.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah, proceed. Well,
Proceed.
it's just a small matter on the aircon. No need to make it too big. Okay. Yeah, the next one.
You are taking clarification from whom?
I think the one from Palawan, because I've already related to you on your aircon stuff. I think, yeah.
Okay, member for Palawan.
Okay, thank you, Tuan Speaker. Tuan Speaker, I read in the Sunday Post yesterday, where is our Honorable Minister for Tourism used beggars cannot be chosen. In response to Kota Sentosa statement in Sarawak government funding, I just want clarification. Did you say that? And who do you mean by beggars? Is it we on the opposition or the constituents, the voters in the constituents? I think the members in this house, when you speak inside this house and outside the house, it reflects the comment must be inside and outside the house. Don't speak, beggars cannot be chosen. Are we referring to our voters, our rakyat, our taxpayer? Because I think, that's why I seek clarification. I think it's fair.
Sometimes comments are given in jest. Ada yang Muhammad daripada Pelawan. I know it is not related to tourism matter.
I think clarification should be made on which part of the winding up it is. Not for every
Actually, it's not,
statement that
related
appears
to
in the
the
paper. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Now, it's okay. I will answer it when I go to the media. Never mind. Wait. I'll answer it when I go to the media because it's not related to the text of. It will be down there. If you want, you go down there and ask me later. But I will answer it in the media. Ask me. Okay?
Proceed. Are you taking?
Okay. Is it related to the? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Relating to your speech or winding down speech just now, saying that it was unfortunate for Puju or his friend had put in the tender. This is imputing improper motive, and the minister should withdraw that. This is not according to the quorum of that one, and this is something very bad remark in this that one. We should not endure it.
Which part? The minister said?
Yes, just now, the minister, Honorable Minister has said that it was unfortunate for Puju or his friend not tender, and someone from Kuching got it. This is something including improper motive. That is not the intention of Puju by raising up the issue on the air conditioning tender. Something should apologize to Puju and should withdraw the statement.
Come on, Padungan. You don't be too serious lah. What is there to apologize? Wait first, okay? Puju did raise up and impliedly stating in his debate, you were not there, I think, impliedly stating why is this project been given to somebody from Kuching? What is he trying to imply? That during the debate, I still remember I was here. No, I'm not going to have a debate with you here. I'm just going to clarify the question that was asked by Penggulungan. No, wait. I'm still, he was saying the project is in Belia, but why the contractor to do an aircon service, you get it from Kuching. He does not know that that project is an open tender project. It was secured by a company that was in Kuching. So there's nothing to apologize. So that's why my answer just now to him, out of jest, why didn't you or your friend submit in your tender? Probably if you put in your tender, somebody from Belia might have got the project, not the one from Kuching. So there's nothing for me to apologize here. Okay. So I'll continue my,
Continue.
Don't waste time.
Okay.
Don't waste time. That is business.
Okay.
I think we've got a long day today, no?
We have 5 minutes left
Okay.
to do the weather up today. You sit down.
Okay, no other question.
Okay.
Proceed.
Dato' Amma Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dato' Amma Speaker and all staff of the Dewan Undangan Negeri for your excellent handling of this Dewan proceeding. The State Secretary, the Federal Secretary, and all government departments, both the state and federal, and not forgetting also the staff of my own ministry for their hard work, commitment and dedication in giving the necessary support, inputs and information. And I would like to convey my greetings to all members of this Dewan with 3 rangkap pantun. Dasar kami berpaksi Pelancongan, kesenian kebudayaan Belia dan Sukan. Irtizam kami menjana kemakmuran, seantara sempadan promosi dianjurkan. Ramah tamah bergurau senda, duduk di pangkal pohon merdeka. Semarakkan kesenian, sukan dan budaya agar dapat dicontohi Belia. Seni budaya rautan wajah, bangunan dun indah berseri. Mesyuarat pertama berakhir sudah, mesyuarat kedua bertemu lagi. Sekian, terima kasih. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Can you speak English? I don't speak but
Ali Muhammad, we have a short break. Sitting resumes at 11:15.